Hi there, I'm Sashi Sivram Krishna and welcome to my course Macroeconomics, a Modern Money Theory Perspective. We are in part 1 of the course Macroeconomics and Money. In lecture 14, we will look at Essentials of Modern Money 2. From the state theory of money perspective, modern money may be defined as fiat currency, which is also legal tender. Fiat currency may be defined as currency by order, decree, or regulation. It means that the issuing authority makes no promise to convert this currency into precious metals or any other commodity. It also specifies that the currency will not be converted into foreign currency at a fixed rate, although there may be a promise to convert the currency into foreign currencies at a flexible rate. The emergence of modern money is considered to be 1971, which is the year in which President Richard Nixon of the United States closes the gold window. By this we mean that the promise that the US would convert the dollar into gold at the rate of $35 per ounce is abolished. There is no country from this point onwards which promises to convert its currency into precious metals, let alone at a fixed rate. This is also the year in which the Bretton Woods system collapses, or the fixed exchange rate system collapses, and the world moves on to a flexible or floating exchange rate regime. The second aspect of modern money is legal tender. Sometimes there is confusion over the word legal tender, and people understand it as something which is that when we make exchanges in the private sector amongst ourselves, we must settle these obligations only in state currency or fiat currency. But this is not true. We can engage in exchanges where we decide to barter goods. So for instance, I might buy something from you and promise to pay you gold in return, or maybe some other commodity. It's permitted. But what is legal tender is that any obligations to the state may be discharged in the money thing and the unit of account that the state specifies. So in a sense, the state agrees to accept whatever they define as the unit of account and the money thing, and only that in settlement of obligations due to the state. So it is more on the part of the state to accept its IOUs in discharge of obligations due to it, and that's what is legal tender. So for instance, the dollar is the legal tender in the United States. Any obligations due to the US government can be settled in dollars. The government of the US accepts dollars as a unit of account and the money thing through which you can settle obligations due to it. So the state defines the unit of account and the money thing which corresponds to that particular unit of account. So for instance, in the United States, the unit of account would be the dollar. In the UK, it's the pound. In Japan, the yen. And in India, it's the rupee, and so on. The government also defines what is the money thing which corresponds to this unit of account. So the dollar bill, the dollar note in the United States, the pound note in the UK, the yen note in Japan, and the rupee note in India would be the money things. So any obligations due to the state could be settled with these particular notes. Now, what are the obligations due to the state? The most important are taxes. So we have to pay our taxes in rupees only. And for that we must maintain our books of accounts only in terms of rupees. We cannot, in India, so we cannot keep our books of accounts in any other unit of account. So for example, I cannot keep my books of accounts in India in terms of rice or wheat or gold. And when it comes to settling my obligations due to the state, which is payment of taxes, I have to use the money thing that has been specified by the government, which would be the rupee note. So I'm not getting into banking right now, but we will do that later. But for now, you can think of the currency as being the only way in which I can settle my obligations due to the state. Now, over time, the private sector begins to accept these currency notes in discharge of obligations due within the private sector. So when I buy something from you, there is an obligation which arises. I have to give you something in return, and you would be willing to take the state's liabilities. Remember, we spoke about money as being a financial liability. You would accept these promissory notes or IOUs because you need them to discharge your obligations to the state. And you can settle your obligations only with these specific or specified money things. And that's why over time, money becomes generally acceptable even across the private sector.